How y'all doing, fam? It's Chris Rao Media TV, and I'm gonna be coming to you with this news. This came out February 18th, 2018 at 5 a.m. by the LA Times. It says, focus on dreamers breed resentment from other immigrants here illegally. So it's by Cindy Carcamo and Brittany Mejia. Okay. So it says, ever since Sam Paredes crossed into the U.S. illegally from Mexico nearly 30 years ago, he followed a simple philosophy of keeping his head down and trying to stay out of trouble. The 39-year-old put in long hours for little pay as an office manager at clothing wholesaler. He paid his taxes and hoped that after many years of waiting, there will come an immigration reform that will grant him a pathway to becoming an American citizen. It says, but one glimmer of hope afforded many young immigrants escaped him. Because the New York resident came too long ago, he did not qualify for immigration relief under the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, better known as DACA. Now he watches as the White House and Congress continue to grapple and negotiate and argue, but at least talk about it, the future of the so-called dreamers. He says, I'm very bitter. These DACA kids definitely have his scenes of entitlement. Paredes says people fought for them and they got DACA and they got their work permit and then they went to sleep instead of working to fight for the rest of us. As the Senate has debated immigration in a race to come up with a plan that would win bipartisan support, the future for dreamers has gained even more prominence. What do about DACA help to spark a brief federal government shutdown and prompt Democrat House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi to give an 8-hour and 7-minute speech? Even President Trump has occasionally softened his frequently harsh, hardline immigration tone when talking about dreamers. In a tweet, the president said Republicans want to fix DACA far more than the Democrats do. Yeah, right. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. On Wednesday, Trump pushed senators to oppose any bill that did not support his tough approach on immigration, including closing the country's doors to many immigrants who want to come to the U.S. legally. The move came a day after a second federal judge issued an injunction order his administration to continue the DACA program, a decision the Trump administration wants to reverse. Says senators failed to reach a bipartisan deal on the future of the young immigrants and border security. The defeat of the bills in the Senate make it increasingly likely that no legislative solution for DACA will happen this year, although some senators say they may try for a short-term extension of the program. But the dreamers will continue to loom front and center in the debate over immigration, no matter what. And it said, there are many reasons dreamers have moved to the center of the debate about illegal immigration. Many say they are here illegally through no fault of their own, brought as children by their parents. Many dreamers have gone on to college and public service, making them ideal poster children in the debate. But the focus on dreamers has caused tension between those in the community who can qualify for DACA and those who cannot. Alessandro Negretti, whatever his damn name is, 35, was getting ready for a night out in downtown Los Angeles recently when one of his friends worried aloud about Trump taking away the protection he got from the DACA program. Negretti, a public relation worker was 3 months old when a smuggler carried him from Mexico into the United States. Too old now to apply to become a dreamer, he said. He cannot help but feel resentment at how much attention the plight of this one segment of the immigrant community is receiving, while people like him seem to get so little. You think you have it hard, he angrily told his friend. You at least have a legal status. For some people like me, my mom, and some of my neighbors, we don't have that. Earlier this month, Hilario Yanez, a DACA recipient and immigrant rights activist, went on a TV show Fox and Friends and expressed his support for Trump legislation, stating that he believed the president has shown leadership and compassion towards him and other dreamers. And he said, here's a guy who wants to provide a pathway to citizenship for myself and really makes a difference in my life. Yeah, right. Do you really think he want to provide you citizenship? The only way he want to provide you citizenship is he get that fucking $24 billion fucking fund to build up that fucking wall. That's the only way. Said Giannis, a technology analyst at Accenture Technology in Houston. Giannis drew praise from many conservative immigration hawks, including right-wing media outlets such as Breitbart. At the same time, it sparked outrage in the immigrants' right movement, with some saying that Giannis embodies the extreme stereotype of entitlement among some DACA recipients. And it says, Carla Estrada, a DACA recipient and long-time immigrant rights activist who lives in Los Angeles, said, Giannis' comments come as no surprise. For months now, everyone has been freaking out. I know y'all been freaking out because y'all scared y'all gonna get fucking deported. And Trump ain't playing with y'all fucking ass. As things have been getting ugly and desperate, the divide between DACA recipients has become more prevalent, Estrada said. One group wants clean legislation that will provide a pathway to legalize DACA recipients, but with no strings attached, such as doing away with visa lottery. The second group is willing to take whatever they can get as long as they can get some sort of immigration relief, Estrada said. Although Estrada is lobbying for legislation with no strings attached, she said she's trying to understand why DACA recipients would be willing to compromise. I truly believe that desperation has led some of us to the degree I'm hoping of temporary insanity. They see no other option. They see no other door, she said. It's very disheartening and sad. We're supposed to be a united community, and we obviously are not. I know y'all not. People are desperate because, they want to see, they are DACA recipients. They just want to see some kind of help or whatever, which may be temporary, but they just don't want to get deported. They don't want to go back. They don't want to have to go back to Mexico because some of them, like in the article, like they said, it came in at 3 months here old or 1 year old or 2 years old and shit. And if they go back to Mexico, they're going to have to start all over. But hey, that's not our problem. So it says the divisions have increasingly sprung up in social media outlets such as Facebook forums used by DACA immigrants youth. Some argue that DACA recipients should settle for whatever Trump can give them because the alternative would be life without work permits. They have bills to pay, mouths to feed, they say. Other DACA recipients say they refuse to support legislation that will help them if it means it will hurt loved ones, including parents. One of the large issues during the negotiations over the bipartisan bill the past few weeks was that Dreamers organizations were reluctant to sign onto any bill that would protect their status but not protect their parents or other family members. It was a major reason 3 Democratic senators voted against a compromise bill. The question of who should be allowed to become members of American society has historically been contested, provoking divisions even among movements that seem otherwise unified, like immigrant rights, said Leo R. Chavez, a professor of anthropology who focuses on immigration at U.S. Irvine. In the late 1800s, the Chinese Exclusion Act did not allow for Chinese immigrants to become U.S. citizens. Similarly, I'm sorry, family, I'm getting tongue twisted. While Western and Northern Europeans were favored to become naturalized, the U.S.-born children of Southern and Eastern European immigrants were considered too foreign, Chavez said. A lot of these people were seen as swarthy and likely to change the complexion of America, he said. Although DACA is slated to end in March, man, it's gonna be ended in March if they don't have no DACA bill or no Dreamers bill and shit like that. So, activists and legislators, including some Republicans, have rallied to support the program. It says this comes at a time when many of the country's approximately 11 million immigrants in the country illegally feel painted as criminals, and DACA recipients are being leveraged by the Trump administration to achieve concessions from Democrats on stricter border security and tougher immigration enforcement. Yeah, of course. Because Trump don't want, if Trump gonna give DACA, if he gonna give them citizenship, he want that fucking border to be tight on security, because he don't want no more Mexicans to come in here, because their population, the white community population, is dying. They're dying. They're dying fast. They're dying fast all kind of ways. So he sees that as a threat, a major threat, because white people right now, they might, I think they're the minority, but they have their, they Fox News, and they have you have your CBS and all that shit, keep coming up with that fucking white supremacy shit and stuff like that. Want people to be asleep and don't understand that they always fuck with the numbers and shit like that. So I'll put the link in the description box, family, and y'all can read the rest. Just want to come and drop some knowledge for y'all, let y'all know what's going on. Y'all have a good morning.